Two best friends, one tennis court, and a rivalry nobody expected to matter this much. Eala has never beaten Iva Jovic, not once, not twice, and now fate is throwing them together again on the biggest stage in New York. This isn't just an exhibition, this could be a preview of something far bigger, far more painful, and far more personal. What happens when friendship and ambition collide at Flushing Meadows? You are not ready for this story. Eala and Iva Jovic are not strangers. They are close friends on the WTA Tour. Two of the brightest young stars in women's tennis, both born from that golden generation of juniors who were supposed to change the game. But somewhere between the practice courts and the friendly dinners, something shifted. Every time these two have stepped onto a competitive court together, only one name has walked away with the win, and it hasn't been Eala's. Twice now, Jovic has gotten the better of her friend. First at the French Open, in a brutal straight sets defeat, 6-4, 6-2. Then again at Queen's Club, an even more lopsided result, 6-2, 6-2. 2 losses, 0 wins. And yet, through it all, the friendship has survived. That's the part that makes this story so gripping. This isn't about hatred or bitterness. It's about two athletes who genuinely care for each other, forced by the nature of sport to compete for the same spotlight, the same rankings, the same dreams. Eala, now the Philippines' brightest tennis hope and a rising star inside the world's top 20, has rewritten history books before. She was the first Filipina to win a Grand Slam main draw match. She's broken barriers no one from her country had broken. But against Jovic, something just hasn't clicked. Is it mental? Is it style matchup? Or is it simply that Jovic, ranked inside the world's top tier herself, is playing the best tennis of her career at exactly the wrong time for her friend? Fans have started asking hard questions. Some wonder if the closeness off the court is affecting Eala's aggression on it. Others believe it's pure tennis. Jovic's game has answers Eala hasn't solved yet. Whatever the reason, the numbers don't lie, and the tension heading into their next meeting is impossible to ignore. This friendship has quietly become one of the most fascinating storylines in women's tennis, and almost nobody was talking about it until now. The 2026 US Open Fan Week brought a moment nobody expected to feel this heavy. Eala and Jovic drawn together again, this time in the Stars of the Open exhibition, a charity event held at the USTA Billie Jean King National Tennis Center in Flushing Meadows. On paper, it's just an exhibition. Charity proceeds, fan entertainment, smiles for the cameras. But underneath the surface, everyone close to the sport knows this match carries weight far beyond charity. This is Eala's final hit-out before the real battle begins, the US Open Singles main draw, the tournament where she first made history by winning the girls' title back in 2022, and where she later became the first Filipina to win a main draw match. For Jovic, it's a chance to extend her psychological hold over a friend she has already beaten twice this year. The exhibition lineup itself reads like a who's who of tennis's next generation: Joao Fonseca, Lerner Tien, Amanda Anisimova, Marta Kostyuk, Arthur Fils, Alex Mickelson, all sharing the stage for a cause bigger than themselves, supporting the USTA Foundation's work in underserved communities. But make no mistake, when Eala and Jovic step onto that court, it won't just be about charity. It will be about answers. Can Eala finally find a way to solve the puzzle that is Jovic's game? Or will this exhibition simply confirm what the scoreline has already suggested twice this season? There's an added layer of drama too. Both players are set to be seated in the actual US Open main draw, a rare feat for Eala, who has only been seeded once before at a major, at Wimbledon, where she reached the round of 16. That seeding means something huge lurking in the background of this exhibition match. If both women continue winning through their respective draws, they could cross paths again in the third round of the real tournament. That possibility has transformed a simple charity hit-out into something fans and analysts can't stop talking about. Is this exhibition a sneak peek at a blockbuster third-round showdown just weeks away? Nobody expected the storyline to build this fast, but here we are. There is a particular kind of pressure that builds when you keep losing to the same opponent. It's not just about the scoreline anymore. It becomes psychological. Every time Eala steps onto a court opposite Jovic now, there's a quiet voice asking, will this be different? The French Open loss stung because it came on a stage where Eala has historically fought hard for every point. The Queen's Club defeat stung even more because it was even more one-sided, a signal that Jovic's game might simply have Eala's number right now. Sports psychologists often talk about matchup demons, opponents whose style, rhythm, or mental edge seems to consistently disrupt another player's normal game plan, regardless of overall ranking or form. Is Jovic becoming that demon for Eala? It's a question the Filipina star will have to face head-on, especially with the media spotlight in New York growing brighter by the day. Yet there's also a flip side to this story that shouldn't be ignored. Pressure like this can become fuel. Some of the greatest comeback stories in tennis history were born from exactly this kind of narrative, an underdog forced to face a nemesis one more time with everything on the line. Eala has already proven she thrives on history-making moments. She turned pro at just 14. She stunned the tennis world with her junior Grand Slam title in 2022. She broke down barriers no Filipina had broken before her at the majors. Doubters have been wrong about her before. The question now is whether this exhibition and the looming possibility of a third-round US Open collision becomes the moment she finally flips the script against her friend-turned-rival. Or does Jovic, playing with the calm confidence of someone who has already won the mental battle twice, extend her dominance even further? Every fan watching this rivalry unfold knows one thing for certain. Whatever happens next won't just be about tennis skill. It will be about heart, nerve, and the ability to separate friendship from fierce competition when the stakes are at their absolute highest. Beyond the personal rivalry, there's a bigger picture unfolding at the 2026 US Open, and it makes this Eala Jovic storyline even more electric. This tournament carries a reported $90 million prize pool, one of the richest in tennis history, running from August 30th through September 13th at Flushing Meadows. For Eala, ranked inside the world's top 20 and coming off a historic season that included a round of 16 run at Wimbledon and a title at the DC Open, this US Open represents a chance to build on the best year of her career. For Jovic, an American player fighting for recognition on home soil, a strong run in New York could cement her status as one of the sport's most dangerous rising stars. Both women are expected to enter the tournament seeded, a milestone that raises the stakes even further, because seeded players are protected from meeting each other in the very early rounds, meaning if this rivalry does reignite, it likely won't happen until the tournament has already separated the contenders from the pretenders. That's what makes the Stars of the Open exhibition such a fascinating appetizer. It's the closest thing fans will get to a preview of a potential blockbuster third-round matchup, without any of the ranking points or Grand Slam pressure attached. Insiders close to the WTA Tour have noted how rare it is for two players this close as friends to also be building this kind of quietly intense on-court history. It adds a layer of drama that pure statistics can't capture. Tennis fans on social media have already begun speculating about what a potential US Open third-round showdown could look like, with many pointing to Eala's improved seeding and career-best form as reasons she could finally turn the tide. Others argue Jovic's rhythm against Eala specifically makes her the player to fear in any hypothetical rematch. Either way, the anticipation building around this friendship rivalry has turned a simple charity exhibition into one of the most talked-about undercards of the entire US Open Fan Week. Proof that sometimes the most compelling stories in sports happen just outside the main event. So here's the real twist buried inside this story. This was never supposed to be a rivalry. Eala and Jovic were meant to simply be two friends, part of the same rising generation, occasionally crossing paths in draws before going their separate ways. Instead, tennis fate had other plans, throwing them together 3 times within a matter of months: French Open, Queen's Club, and now New York, with the real possibility of a 4th meeting still looming in the US Open's 3rd round. Nobody predicted that an exhibition charity match, meant purely as fan entertainment for a good cause, would carry this much psychological weight heading into a Grand Slam. Nobody predicted that Eala's toughest opponent this season wouldn't be a higher-ranked veteran, but one of her closest friends on tour. And nobody predicted that this storyline would capture as much attention as some of the tournament's headline matches. That's the twist. Sometimes the most gripping sports narratives aren't found in the biggest names or the highest seeds. They're found in the quiet, complicated space between friendship and ambition, where two young athletes are forced to want the same thing at the same time. Will Eala finally break through against Jovic on the exhibition court, even if it means nothing for the rankings? Will that momentum carry into a genuine US Open collision weeks later? Or will Jovic continue proving she has simply figured out how to beat her friend, no matter the stage or the stakes? As the 2026 US Open gets underway at Flushing Meadows, all eyes will be on this pair, not just for the tennis, but for the human story underneath it. Two friends, one shared dream, and a rivalry that nobody saw coming, but that everybody can't stop watching now. The next chapter of the Eala Jovic story is about to be written, and this time, the whole tennis world is paying attention. If you enjoyed this latest tennis update and want to stay ahead of the biggest stories in the world, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe the channel right now. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss a moment of the action. See you in the next video.